in your house?
You get the maid is down there. You got my cousin is down there. The people is down there.
How do you know that they're there?
No, because everybody was there when that thing happened.
Where were you?
I was come from Port-au-Prince to the capital when that thing happened. When I reached there, it just happened.
And how are you digging them out? Do you have help?
Yes, I got help. I got a lot of help. You still working this morning. Now everybody take a break to try to put the other two people out inside.
Where did you find the two people you found?
The two people is right there. Right there. This is the kitchen was there. Everybody cook in the kitchen when that thing happened.
And have you brung them out? Did you bring them out?
Yeah, you already buried 3 already. So you get some more there.
And are authorities coming to help you? Do you have cranes? Do you have...
You do by hand. You do by hand. Everybody knock with the hammer and then put the concrete out. And then we start pick up the people.
Have any organizations come to help?
No organization. No organization to help.
Where does your family live? Your son, your daughter?
My son and my daughter live in New York.
What did they do?
One is a doctor, medical.
Where?
In Queen General Hospital. Oh. And the other one is in Pentagon.
In the Pentagon in Washington?
In Washington. You get everybody's in New York.
Your son is in the Pentagon?
Yeah.
What does he do there?
Yeah, he's on chemistry engineering.
Chemical engineer. Can he get any help from the Pentagon?
I don't. I try to get in. I just do the email to him. So, but I don't know if he can help us. Anyway, you try to do my best to get the people out. You smell the people down there?
Yes, I can smell the bodies.
The smell of death was overwhelming. We heard the mayor of Léogâne was in the backyard of the police station nearby. We wanted to ask him, where was the help? It was there we saw a helicopter, but instead of delivering food when it was on the ground where hundreds of people had gathered, it lifted off, circled overhead, and dropped bags of bread on the hungry people below.
The other countries in the same situation as us, when there's an aid that comes, they don't do that. They don't humiliate people like that. We are Haitians. We are like people like anybody else. Even though we're in a bad situation now, those countries are supposed to have another way to treat us. The helicopter came down to the ground, landed, and they should have given to the responsible on the ground to distribute to the rest of the people here. And not when they go back up in the air, throw the bread out like they were throwing bones to dogs. We are very frustrated with the way they drop this little bread, throw them down to the population, like it's bones they're throwing to dogs. To now we need means to get the dead out from under the rubble. And immediately we need an excavator. We need backhoes to remove people in 12 sites, in 12 schools. Plus private homes which fell on people. The people are here, they need food, they need water. It's not in this way that they can do it, that we want them to do it.
Okay, my name is Santos Alexis. I'm the mayor of Léogâne.
Can you describe why people are so angry right now as this helicopter dropped rolls on the people of Léogâne?
They feel that they feel humiliated because of the airplane flying and dropping some bread to them. They feel very embarrassed by that.
Wasn't the helicopter just on the ground? Couldn't they have given it over then?
That's exactly the problem. If they were here on the ground, why do they have to fly and drop the bread? That's exactly our question.
What did they deliver when they were on the ground?
That's exactly the problem. That's why we're asking ourselves. Why you were on the ground, you couldn't give them the bread, and you have to fly back up and throw the bread in the air. We don't appreciate it.
Who was it in those helicopters?
It's a private plane from New Mission. New Mission is an institution of United States. You know, it's a church.
Did they meet with you?
No, they did not. They just fly back right away, as you saw. I don't know if you were here.
Did they meet with anyone on the ground?
No. But we know that this helicopter belongs to them.
Can you tell us about the situation in Léogâne? How did the earthquake affect Léogâne?
Well, we have never seen anything like that in Léogâne. We have never seen anything like that in Haiti. And when it happens, the whole town is like gone. 90% of Léogâne is destroyed, and only 10% is highly surviving.
Were you born here?
I was born in Léogâne, yes.
And did you live here your whole life?
I spent 34 years in the U.S.
Where?
In New York, Brooklyn, New York.
What did you do in New York?
I do some real estate, and I went to school over there too.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to Brooklyn College.
And what made you decide to come back to Haiti?
I've been in Haiti for so long, but I always go back and forth, you know. And I decided to stay here and do some politics.
President Aristide in South Africa said he wanted to come home in this time of need of his people. How would you feel about that?
I think that he should be able to come home if he wants to. I don't think they should stop him from coming home.
President Clinton, President Obama, President Bush gathered to show their unified support for Haiti. How do you think would affect the people if President Preval stood with President Aristide?
I think it's a good sign. It's a lesson that President Preval should take from that, where those guys got together. It doesn't matter Republican or Democrat, they got together in a time like this. And it's a time for President Aristide, President Preval, even President Duvalier to get together and come to Haiti and help.
The United Nations made a statement saying they would not come to deliver aid to Léogâne until they could ensure the security situation was safe.
I don't see any problem, except, you know, like things happen and people try to steal things from stores, you know, food maybe. That's about it. But there's no violence really in Léogâne.
What do you think needs to happen now?
Léogâne needs to be rebuilt, but as we speak, we're not thinking about that now. What we're thinking about now is to help people to survive. People are dying because of lack of help. People are dying because of lack of oxygen, lack of medication. People are dying because of loss of blood. They're losing too much blood. People are dying because they need medication for pain, and they're dying because of that.
We've also been to many, many houses where people are using hammers and mallets to try to dig out their loved ones.
That's not a problem. We have thousands of people still buried. We cannot do nothing about it. We don't have enough equipment to dig these people out. It's killing us.
Has there been any search and rescue equipment brought in from anywhere?
No. We have something from the MINISA, but it's very small equipment. They call them like a loader, but it's too small. Cannot do so much. And we also have another one from a company named VOB. You know, they help us, but we don't have enough. Only two, and one is too small.
And yet, Haiti has been through floods and hurricanes, emergencies over and over again. Is there any disaster plan?
No. We're not ready for stuff like that. Hurricanes, yes, but not this. We never thought in a million years that would happen in Haiti. We are overwhelmed by this.
We end our trip in Léogâne today with Vanya, who was injured when the earthquake hit, and she's here with her baby, Stresti. Has anyone helped you? Has any aid come to you?
No.
And that pretty much sums it up. everywhere we have gone here in Léogâne, there are thousands of people who live here. People are trying to dig up their loved ones or their neighbors. The stench is enormous. So many people, if they have a kerchief or a hospital mask, are walking around with them. We spoke to people like Vanya, whose leg is bandaged because, well, she just did it. And people who cannot find their loved ones. But we come on the day that we read the United Nations says they will not come into Léogâne, right near the epicenter of the earthquake, because they say they're concerned about security. I'm Amy Goodman for Democracy Now!
We were in Léogâne on Monday, 6 days after the earthquake.